Flash flooding has slammed much of the Midwest, uprooting communities and stranding motorists, while intense heat waves stubbornly persist across the western United States. But here's where it gets controversial. While some regions battle deluges, others face parching heat, highlighting the extreme and contrasting weather patterns gripping the country. On Sunday, vast portions of the Midwest, notably the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, were battered by sudden and severe flash flooding. Torrential rains overwhelmed streets and neighborhoods, leading to numerous water rescues and emergency responses, officials reported. A powerful storm unleashed between 5 inches and a foot of rain over Milwaukee during Sunday morning alone. This massive amount of rainfall flooded home basements, toppled trees onto streets, and left many drivers trapped in slowly rising floodwaters. Milwaukee's mayor, Cavalier Chevy Johnson, described the situation in a Sunday news briefing, explaining that thousands of city residents were impacted by an intense overnight flood event. Some areas experienced a staggering foot of rain in just a short period, something the city hadn't witnessed in over 10 years. This flooding is extremely serious, Johnson emphasized. It's an event Milwaukee hasn't seen in perhaps a decade or more. Between 8 p.m. Saturday and 7 a.m. Sunday, the Milwaukee Fire Department, along with neighboring departments, fielded an astonishing 614 emergency calls, with 65 of those involving water rescues. Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky revealed during the same news conference. Emergency teams worked around the clock, not only conducting rescues, but also tackling downed trees, natural gas leaks, damaged electrical wires, exploding transformers, and even a 2-alarm fire. Miraculously, no fatalities have been reported so far, despite the widespread chaos. Rescue personnel pulled dozens of people from vehicles stranded in floodwaters, while hundreds of automobiles were abandoned as water levels continued rising, complicating response efforts. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley noted this challenge during his Sunday update. In response to the crisis, Milwaukee County declared a state of emergency, enabling officials to quickly mobilize additional resources and call on state and federal first responders to assist in recovery operations. The storm also caused power outages, affecting nearly 60,000 utility customers in the Milwaukee area on Sunday morning. By Sunday afternoon, roughly half had their electricity restored, according to We Energies, the local utility provider. And this is the part most people miss. This was the second day in a row that flash flooding hit Milwaukee. The severe weather on Saturday night forced the closure of the Wisconsin State Fair Park in West Allis, a Milwaukee suburb, leading to the cancellation of the fair's final day on Sunday. Fair officials expressed their regret, stating, "We are saddened to miss the fair's last day, but feel this is the safest decision given the current conditions and projections." Additionally, the Para-Triathlon and Sprint Distance National Championships, scheduled for Sunday in Milwaukee, were canceled. Organizers cited historic rain amounts, flooding, damaged courses, stretched emergency services, unsafe water conditions, and looming bad weather as reasons the races could not safely proceed. Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport was also hard hit. Early Sunday reports indicated nearly all runways were underwater except for one. Flooding covered multiple taxiways and submerged an underpass tunnel, disrupting airport operations. Suburban areas like Waukesha and New Berlin also reported rescues of stranded drivers caught in rising floodwaters. Severe thunderstorms were similarly impacting Kansas, Iowa, and Nebraska. Throughout Sunday, active severe weather stretched from Colorado through Missouri. Earlier in the day, severe thunderstorm watches were issued for cities including Omaha, Nebraska, and Des Moines, Iowa. As of the afternoon, regions across Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, and New Mexico remained on alert for damaging winds and isolated hail through 8 p.m. Mountain Time. The flash flood risk across the Midwest is expected to continue well into Monday due to a stalled weather system. A flood watch remains in effect from Wichita, Kansas, all the way to Milwaukee, covering key cities such as Madison, Wisconsin, Kansas City, Kansas, and Rockford, Illinois. Forecasters predict the highest flood risk zones will shift late Sunday from Iowa and Wisconsin down toward Missouri and Kansas. These areas are bracing for multiple waves of slow-moving storms that could drop intense rain, potentially more than 3 inches per hour. By weekend's end, some Midwestern locations could accumulate as much as 9 inches of rain from this persistent storm system. Meanwhile, in sharp contrast, the western United States is grappling with extreme heat and the looming danger of wildfires. Over 30 million people remain under warnings for dangerously high temperatures. Extreme heat alerts cover much of the West, including cities like Phoenix, Arizona, and Palm Springs, California, where temperatures are forecasted to soar past 100 degrees, possibly reaching as high as 115 degrees. Heat advisories also extend to areas in North Texas and Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. While the risk of severe fire weather has lessened somewhat, thanks to slightly calmer winds, parts of southwestern Colorado still face red flag warnings, indicating dangerous fire conditions for Sunday night. In the Pacific Northwest, heat is also intensifying. Medford, Oregon, along with regions stretching from Eugene to Portland, are under extreme heat warnings, as temperatures are expected between 97 and 110 degrees through the weekend and into the start of the new work week. Other nearby areas under heat advisories include Spokane and Longview in Washington, Lewiston in Idaho, and Mount Shasta in Northern California. Looking ahead, widespread warm conditions are also predicted to creep into the Midwest and Northeast during the week. Upstate New York and much of New England can expect daytime highs climbing into the upper 80s and even the 90s. This stark juxtaposition, intense flooding in the Midwest alongside blistering heat out west, raises important questions about how communities should prepare for increasingly extreme and opposite weather events. Could this point to a larger shift in climate patterns, or are these just anomalies? Share your thoughts below. Do you believe our emergency systems and infrastructure are ready to handle this new normal, or is more urgent action needed?